My husband insisted I quit my job and be a stay-at-home wife, saying a woman's place is in the home. When I refused, he smirked, "Fine, but don't expect me to help with anything." So I packed my bags and left. Months later, he called me crying. His new girlfriend had just taken his money and left him. I smiled. Guess a man's place is alone when he's useless. I was sitting on our worn-out couch in our small living room in Des Moines, Iowa, flipping through channels on the TV. The day had been long, and all I wanted was to relax. Mark, my husband, sat beside me, unusually quiet. He cleared his throat, breaking the silence. "Sarah," he began, not looking at me, "I've been thinking about our future." I muted the TV and turned to face him. "Okay, what about it?" He took a deep breath. "I want you to quit your job and stay home. Focus on the house, maybe start thinking about kids." I blinked, surprised. "Where is this coming from? You know I love my job at the publishing house." He finally met my gaze. "I just believe a woman's place is in the home, taking care of things." I felt my face heat up. "Mark, we've always been partners. We both contribute. Why this sudden change?" He shrugged. "It's not sudden. I've been thinking about it. I earn enough for both of us. You don't need to work." I shook my head. "It's not about the money. I find fulfillment in my work. I don't want to give that up." His jaw tightened. "Fine, but don't expect me to help with anything around the house anymore." I stared at him, trying to process his words. "Are you serious?" He nodded. "Completely." The atmosphere in our home changed after that conversation. Mark became distant, leaving his dishes in the sink, laundry piled up and the trash overflowing. I found myself picking up the slack, feeling the weight of both my job and the household chores. One evening, after a particularly grueling day at work, I came home to find the kitchen in chaos. Dirty dishes were everywhere, and the trash can was surrounded by garbage that hadn't made it in. Mark was in the living room, feet up on the coffee table, watching TV. I dropped my bag by the door and walked into the kitchen, taking in the mess. My hands clenched into fists. "Mark," I called out, trying to keep my voice steady. He didn't respond, eyes glued to the screen. I walked into the living room, standing between him and the TV. "Mark, we need to talk." He sighed, grabbing the remote to mute the TV. "What now, Sarah?" I gestured towards the kitchen. The mess. I can't do everything on my own." He leaned back, arms crossed. "I told you. You made your choice. You want to work? Fine. But the house is your responsibility." Tears pricked at the corners of my eyes. "This isn't fair. We used to share everything." He shrugged. "Things change." I couldn't believe the man I had married was saying these things. The partnership we had built over the years was crumbling before my eyes. That night, I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, listening to Mark's steady breathing beside me. Sleep eluded me as my mind raced. The love and respect we once had seemed to have vanished. The next morning, I made a decision. I couldn't live like this. I deserved better. While Mark was at work, I packed a suitcase with essentials. I left a note on the kitchen table. "Mark, I can't continue like this. I need respect and partnership, and I don't feel that here anymore. I'm leaving to find clarity and peace." "Sarah," I took a deep breath, grabbed my suitcase, and walked out the door, not looking back. I moved to Chicago, where my best friend, Lisa, lived. She welcomed me with open arms, offering me her guest room until I could get settled. "You're doing the right thing," she assured me as we sipped coffee in her cozy kitchen. "You deserve to be happy." With her support, I updated my resume and began job hunting. It wasn't long before I landed a position at a reputable publishing firm. The city was bustling, a stark contrast to Des Moines, but it felt invigorating. I threw myself into my work, finding solace in the routine and the new challenges. Evenings were spent exploring the city with Lisa, trying new restaurants and attending events. For the first time in a long while, I felt in control of my life. Months passed, and I had settled into my new life. One evening, as I was preparing dinner in Lisa's kitchen, my phone rang. I glanced at the screen. It was Mark. A mix of emotions washed over me. Curiosity got the better of me, and I answered. Hello. There was a pause before he spoke. Sarah. His voice was different. Softer. Almost broken. Mark, I responded, keeping my tone neutral. I messed up, he admitted. After you left, I started seeing someone else. Thought she was what I wanted. I remained silent, waiting for him to continue. She took advantage of me, drained my bank account, and disappeared. I'm left with nothing. I took a deep breath, processing his words. I'm sorry to hear that, Mark. I've been doing a lot of thinking, he continued. I realize how much I took you for granted. How unfair I was. I closed my eyes, memories of our past surfacing. I miss you, Sarah. I was wrong. Can we talk? Maybe work things out? I opened my eyes, staring out the window at the Chicago skyline. Mark, I began, choosing my words carefully. I hope you find peace and happiness. But I've built a new life here. One where I feel valued and respected. There was a long pause on his end. I understand, he finally said, his voice barely above a whisper. Take care of yourself, Mark. You too, Sarah. As I ended the call, a sense of closure washed over me. I had found my strength, my independence. And I wasn't going to let it go. A few weeks after that phone call, I started getting strange texts. They were from a number I didn't recognize. The first one just said, "You think you're better than everyone now?" I stared at it, confused. At first, I thought it was a mistake. I didn't reply. The next day, another one came. Running away doesn't make you strong. Just fake. I blocked the number, thinking that would be the end of it. But then a new number started texting me. Same kind of messages. The tone was bitter. Angry. Lisa noticed I was tense. Is something going on? I hesitated, but I showed her the texts. Her face darkened. You think it's Mark? I don't know. Maybe. He sounded broken on the phone. But this doesn't sound like him. At least not exactly. Lisa leaned back in her chair, arms crossed. Maybe it's the new girlfriend. The one who took his money. Maybe he told her about you. Maybe she's mad for some reason. That idea chilled me. Why would a stranger come after me? I hadn't done anything to her. A few days later, I came home from work to find the lock on our apartment door had scratch marks, like someone had tried to pick it. Nothing was missing, but I couldn't ignore it. I filed a police report. They told me without proof, there wasn't much they could do. Just stay alert. Lisa installed a new deadbolt and a camera. We both started locking everything, even when we were just taking out the trash. I changed my number. Again. Things went quiet for a bit. I started to relax. Then one morning, I opened my email at work and found a message with no subject line. Just a picture. It was me, standing at the corner of Monroe and Clark, holding a coffee, waiting to cross the street. I felt the blood drain from my face. Someone was watching me. I left work early. I sat on the train, holding my bag tight, eyes scanning every passenger. Was someone following me? Was it her? Lisa was furious. That's it. We're going to the cops again. Bring the picture. We'll make them take this seriously. We did. The officer we spoke to this time was more attentive. He asked if I had any enemies, any exes. I told him about Mark. The sudden shift. The girlfriend. The call. The texts. The picture. He nodded slowly. Could be him. Could be her. We'll look into it. But I'd recommend changing your routine. Don't take the same route every day. Be unpredictable. I started doing just that. I changed my train stop. Walked different streets. Avoided places I used to go. But then things started happening at work. Someone left a handwritten note on my desk. My name and nothing else. Just Sarah. My manager asked how someone got into the building. The security guards checked the tapes. Nothing. No one out of place. My stomach felt like a knot that wouldn't untangle. Lisa insisted I stay with a friend for a while. I moved in with our coworker, Jenna, who lived across town. One night, Jenna and I were watching a movie when she paused it suddenly. Hey, did you notice a black car that's been parked outside for the last 2 nights? I walked to the window. There it was. No one inside. Just sitting there, engine off. I didn't sleep well that night. The next morning, the car was gone. Then, out of nowhere, Mark called me again. New number. I need to see you, he said. Please. No, I snapped. Why are you contacting me again? His voice cracked. I think she's trying to hurt you. I didn't know until recently. She blames you. She said I was obsessed with you. That I talked about you too much. She knows everything. I was silent. I didn't mean for this to happen. I think she's unstable. You think? I snapped. You let someone into your life who now has mine under a microscope. I had to file a police report. I'm sorry, he whispered. I'm scared of her too. That did something to me. The rage I felt at him turned into a colder, sharper fear. Tell me everything you know. Now. He started talking. Details. Her name was Courtney. Mid-30s. Said she used to work in tech, but got laid off. Met her at a bar. She was charming, beautiful, confident. Too confident. She moved in after a month. Things escalated fast. Then she started asking about me. What I was like. What went wrong. Mark admitted he talked about me too much. Said he missed my calm. My focus. My clarity. He didn't realize she'd taken it personally. Sarah, she went through my phone. My emails. Everything. She knows where you live, where you work. I didn't know until after she was gone. I think she's obsessed. I was quiet. You need to go to the police again, I told him. Give them everything. I will. I just needed you to know. I never meant for this. I swear. I hung up, shaking. Lisa called not long after. Someone followed me today. On my way home. I swear, I saw the same person twice. Same jacket. Same face. My voice was hoarse. I think this is bigger than just angry texts. There was a silence on the line. Lisa spoke again. Sarah, what do we do now? I started to notice the small things first. My mail was opened before I got to it. Nothing obvious, no slashes or tears, but the edges weren't sealed right, like someone had steamed them. One morning, I found a credit card bill for an account I didn't recognize. It had my name on it. My full name. But I had never opened that card. I called the company. They told me the card was applied for online. Verified with my social security number. I nearly dropped the phone. Someone was pretending to be me. I went to the police again. This time, they took it more seriously. They brought in a fraud investigator. I filed reports with the credit bureaus. I froze all my accounts. Changed passwords. Lisa helped me go through everything. Mark texted me again. She's unhinged. I found notes she kept. About you. Drawings. A whole journal. I'm going to the cops today. I swear. I should have done it earlier. I didn't reply. I was tired of him swearing things after the damage had already been done. A few days later, I got a call from an unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. When I listened to it, I almost dropped my phone. It was a recording of a woman's voice. She said my name slowly, over and over, like a chant. Then, you don't deserve the life you ran to. Click. I forwarded the voicemail to the detective assigned to my case. He called me that same night. We've tracked the phone to an abandoned apartment building on the west side. We're working on getting a warrant, but it's not easy when they're using burner phones. Is this Courtney? I asked. We think so. But she's good at hiding. There's no official ID under that name linked to any recent residents. If she's using aliases, it could take time. I felt my stomach twist. So what do I do in the meantime? Keep your routines tight. Don't go anywhere alone. We'll update you as soon as we can. A week passed. No new messages. No sightings. The black car didn't return. I started sleeping better, though I never left home without pepper spray and a knife tucked in my purse. Then Lisa got doxxed. Someone posted her full name, address, and place of work on a random blog site. Said she was harboring a runaway homewrecker. There were threats in the comments. Crude stuff. One said, maybe we'll knock on her door instead. Lisa called me in tears. I didn't sign up for this. What is happening, Sarah? I felt sick. I'm so sorry. I didn't want any of this to touch you. We took screenshots of the site, reported everything, but the blog was gone the next day, deleted like it was never there. And then I lost my job. HR called me in, said they'd received a complaint, an anonymous report claiming I'd been involved in workplace manipulation and unauthorized access to private employee accounts. All of it false. But they suspended me while they investigated. I knew who it was. It had to be her. Jenna, the friend I'd stayed with, offered to let me come back to her place. It's safer if you're not alone, she said. We'll figure this out. We were sitting on her couch 2 nights later, watching a movie with the lights low, when we heard something. A knock on the window. Just once. Sharp and fast. Jenna jumped. Was that? We both stood up. Walked slowly toward the window. Nothing. Just the streetlight and an empty sidewalk. Then I noticed something taped to the outside of the glass. It was a piece of paper, printed in all caps. Want me to knock again? Jenna backed away. I grabbed my phone and called the police. They came out, took the note, dusted for prints. Nothing usable. 2 days later, Jenna's car was keyed. Deep scratches down both sides. On the hood, the word liar. I knew this wasn't just about me anymore. Mark called again. I told them everything, he said. I gave them the journals, the notes. But she's gone. They can't find her. It's like she disappeared. I asked him what the journals said. He hesitated. She was tracking you for a while, even before I met her. Said you represented everything fake about modern women. I didn't take it seriously. I thought she was venting. I didn't answer. Mark kept talking. She wrote about purity and order. Said she wanted to cut the ties that let women run wild. I thought it was just weird writing. I didn't know Sarah. I didn't know she was going to do this. I wanted to scream. I didn't. I hung up. A day later, the detective called me again. She was spotted at a public library downtown. Used a fake name to use the computers. The librarian recognized her from our sketch. Did you catch her? No. She was gone by the time we got there. But she printed something. He sent me the file. It was a fake obituary. With my name on it. My photo. My date of birth. A short line. She lived without purpose and died the same. I sat at my desk staring at the screen, every part of me frozen. Jenna came into the room and put her hand on my shoulder. This is war, she whispered. After seeing the fake obituary, something in me broke. This wasn't fear anymore. It was fury. I'd lived months looking over my shoulder, letting someone else decide how I moved, who I trusted, what I could do. I was tired of waiting for the police to maybe catch her. I was tired of hiding. I made a choice. If she wanted me to feel powerless, I'd take that power back. I just had to think like her. Obsession leaves patterns. So I went back through every message, every photo, every strange thing that had happened. I spread them out on the floor in Jenna's spare room. Pictures, emails, notes, the key marks on the car, the paper on the window, the voicemail. And I started making connections. The photos taken of me were always near public Wi-Fi spots. Coffee shops, libraries, train stations. All places someone could sit with a burner phone or a laptop and stay invisible. I traced them on a map. She was always close to the loop. Always within a certain block radius. I found 3 cafes that fit the overlap. I started visiting one each day, sitting for hours, pretending to read. On the 4th day, I saw her. She was sitting at the back of the cafe, a black hoodie up, sleeves covering her hands. Thin, pale, dark hair pulled tight. She was staring at her laptop, but her eyes kept flicking up. Toward me. I felt my heart hammer. I didn't move. Just lifted my phone, pretended to scroll. I texted the detective. She's here. Cafe 9th and Wells. Black hoodie. Back table. Send someone now. Then I waited. She noticed me watching. Her eyes narrowed. Then she stood up. My hands went clammy. She walked straight to the door, but I saw it. Her hand slipped into her jacket. I saw the shape. The bulge. My stomach twisted. She was carrying something. I stood up too, ready to run, but then the cafe door slammed open and two plainclothes officers rushed in. They tackled her before she made it out the door. People screamed. Chairs crashed. I watched as they pinned her to the ground. Her hoodie came off. Her face was blank. Cold. Not even angry. Just empty. In her jacket pocket, they found a hunting knife. Wrapped in cloth. Clean. Sharp. She didn't say a word. Not to them. Not to anyone. That night, I got another call from Mark. This time, I answered. Is it true? He asked. Is she really arrested? Yes. She was going to stab me, I said flatly. In public. In daylight. Mark was quiet for a long time. I should have stopped this sooner, he finally said. I saw the signs. I just didn't want to be alone. My voice cracked. You threw me away because I wanted to work. You told me a woman's place was in the home. Then you brought that monster into yours. He didn't argue. She got into my life because you let her into yours. You're right, he whispered. I could hear him crying softly. I didn't care. I thought I needed your permission to live the life I wanted, I said. That was my mistake. But I'm not sorry I left. I should have left sooner. He didn't respond. You let her near me. You gave her everything she needed. I'll never forgive myself, he said. I won't either. Then I hung up. I never answered a call from him again. Courtney pled guilty. They found more journals. Photos of me. Photos of Lisa. Notes about where Jenna worked. She'd planned to go after all of us. She had timelines. Steps. She told the court she wanted to teach women their place. Her sentence was 27 years. Not enough, if you ask me. But it was over. I moved out of Chicago after that. I needed fresh air. New faces. I chose Denver. Mountains. Space. No shadows. I still flinch sometimes when I hear a knock at the window. I still double lock every door. I still carry a knife. But I live. And that's my revenge. I live.